Hi, welcome to the quiz. You can answer along on quizalto.com, all for free. The exact URL of this quiz will be in the notes down below. Let's get started, good luck. Which file format is commonly used for Amazon Elastic Beanstalk configuration files? CSV, TXT, YAML, XML. YAML is a commonly used file format for configuration files in Elastic Beanstalk. What is the primary function of Amazon Elastic Beanstalk's health monitoring system? To monitor and report the health of instances in the environment. To back up data periodically. To perform security audits. To analyze application code for bugs. Elastic Beanstalk's health monitoring system checks and reports the health status of instances running in the environment. What does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk automatically manage for your application? Database schema. Third-party integrations. Client-side code. Scaling and load balancing. Elastic Beanstalk automatically handles the scaling and load balancing of your application to meet demand. How can you customize the software stack in your Amazon Elastic Beanstalk environment? By changing the AWS region. By modifying the EC2 instance type. By using AWS Direct Connect. By using configuration files and custom AMIs. The software stack can be customized using configuration files and custom AMIs. What type of scaling does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk support? Vertical and horizontal scaling. Serverless scaling. Only horizontal scaling. Only vertical scaling. Elastic Beanstalk supports both vertical and horizontal scaling to meet application demands. How do you manage application dependencies in Amazon Elastic Beanstalk? Include them in the zip file or use a dependency manager. Manually install them on each instance. Use AWS CloudTrail. Depend on AWS Lambda. Dependencies can be managed by including them in the application package or using a dependency manager like pip for Python. Which tool is commonly used to interact with Amazon Elastic Beanstalk from the command line? AWS Management Console. AWS Elastic Beanstalk CLI. AWS Trusted Advisor. AWS CloudFormation. The AWS Elastic Beanstalk CLI is used to interact with Elastic Beanstalk from the command line. What does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk use to store logs for your application? AWS Snowball. Amazon EBS. AWS Glue. Amazon S3 and CloudWatch logs. Logs are stored in Amazon S3 and CloudWatch logs for easy access and analysis. What type of IP addressing is used for instances in Amazon Elastic Beanstalk environments? MAC addressing. Static IP addressing. Dynamic IP addressing. Broadcast addressing. Instances in Elastic Beanstalk environments use dynamic IP addressing. What AWS service helps manage secrets and sensitive data for applications in Amazon Elastic Beanstalk? AWS Secrets Manager, AWS Guard Duty, AWS Artifact, Amazon Macy. AWS Secrets Manager helps manage secrets and sensitive data for applications in Elastic Beanstalk. What can you use to configure your Amazon Elastic Beanstalk environment settings? Configuration files in YAML or JSON format. SQL scripts. HTML files. Jupyter notebooks. Environment settings can be configured using YAML or JSON configuration files in Elastic Beanstalk. Which component is not automatically managed by Amazon Elastic Beanstalk? Health monitoring. Servers. Load balancers. Client-side code. Elastic Beanstalk does not manage client-side code, it manages back-end components like servers and load balancers. What should you do if you want to run multiple versions of your application in Amazon Elastic Beanstalk? Use AWS Glue to manage versions. Update the existing environment with the new version. Create separate environments for each version. Modify the application code directly. Running multiple versions can be achieved by creating separate environments for each version. What is the default limit for the number of environments per AWS account in Amazon Elastic Beanstalk? 10 environments. 40 environments. 50 environments. 100 environments. The default limit for the number of environments per AWS account is 40. What type of load balancing is used by Amazon Elastic Beanstalk? Elastic Load Balancing. Network Load Balancer. Application Load Balancer. Round-robin DNS. Elastic Beanstalk uses elastic load balancing to distribute traffic across instances. What should you use to define environment variables for your Amazon Elastic Beanstalk application? EC2 user data scripts. S3 bucket policies. IAM roles. Elastic Beanstalk configuration files. Environment variables can be defined using Elastic Beanstalk configuration files. What happens if an instance in your Amazon Elastic Beanstalk environment fails? Nothing happens. It is automatically replaced. You are notified but must replace it manually. The environment stops. If an instance fails, Elastic Beanstalk automatically replaces it to maintain availability. How can you restrict access to your Amazon Elastic Beanstalk environment? By using AWS Lambda. Using security groups and IAM policies. By enabling auto-scaling. By disabling the environment. Access can be restricted using security groups and IAM policies. What type of deployments does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk support to minimize downtime? Cold migrations. Manual deployments. Rolling and blue/green deployments. Serverless deployments. Elastic Beanstalk supports rolling and blue/green deployments to minimize downtime during updates. What kind of monitoring metrics does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk provide through CloudWatch? CPU utilization, latency, request count, disk I/O, database query performance, DNS queries. Elastic Beanstalk provides monitoring metrics such as CPU utilization, latency, and request count through CloudWatch. What does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk use to handle deployment orchestration? AWS Config, AWS CloudTrail, Amazon EMR, AWS CloudFormation. Elastic Beanstalk uses AWS CloudFormation to handle deployment orchestration. What AWS service is typically used alongside Amazon Elastic Beanstalk for database needs? Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon RDS, Amazon S3, Amazon EMR. Amazon RDS is commonly used with Elastic Beanstalk to handle relational database needs. What does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk use to deploy applications in Docker containers? Amazon ECS, AWS Lambda, Multi-Container Docker Platform, AWS Fargate. Elastic Beanstalk uses the multi-container Docker platform to deploy applications in Docker containers. Which AWS service does Amazon Elastic Beanstalk use for domain name registration? AWS CloudFormation, Amazon CloudFront, Amazon Cognito, Amazon Route 53. Amazon Route 53 is used for domain name registration with Elastic Beanstalk. What is the primary purpose of AWS Elastic Beanstalk environments tags? To execute code, to store log files, to manage user access, to organize and manage AWS resources. Tags help organize and manage AWS resources by allowing you to categorize them for better visibility. And that's a wrap. Thanks to everyone who participated. Remember, you can answer along on quizalto.com, where you can keep track of your progress and find much more quizzes. We hope you had a fun and challenging time. Until next time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more. Hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as we upload. Please leave a comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions, and, if you think this video is worth sharing with someone who could benefit from it, please forward a link to them. See you next time. Thanks for watching.